Yeah, I heard Ebony K. Williams is pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Hey, she said that she was gonna do it, and she did it. I mean, what is going on here, man? Like, for real. Like, she really gonna raise that child by herself? You really gonna do that? I'm worried about the child and how the child's gonna turn out when the child grows up. Like, you're not gonna have a father figure in that child's life. It's just gonna be just you. Man, we gotta do better, guys. We really gotta do better. Like, I made videos about her and my gripes with her, you know what I'm saying, in the past on this channel, and her unrealistic expectations when it comes down to seeking men and be with men. But turns out, we found out later on she's overbearing. That no man will want her. No man, especially that a man that is high value, don't want her. Now she went to the sperm bank and got pregnant that way. It's crazy work. It's crazy work how we glorify baby mamas, baby daddies, but don't want a nuclear family, a nuclear unit. I have nothing to say really, but yeah, we gonna react to Pink Book Less's video about this matter. Let's get right into it.
Apparent that modern millennial women have completely lost their minds. Ebony K.
Absolutely.
Williams is 40 years old. I will put her on the older millennial side, but she wasted a lot of her younger years shoplifting from the mall so she could get clothes and shoes and pretend like she had it like that. Attempting to get white men to like her, but they all kicked her to the curb because she's inherently obnoxious and impossible to get along with. So she's been faking it until she made it, chasing a lifestyle. Remember, she told Iyanla she wouldn't date a bus driver.
How we can create and not build when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes, they're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver?
If he owns bad.
You. Would you date
If
a
he
bus
owns the
driver?
bus, if he owns
No.
it, if he owns the bus.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well, I would date a bus driver. But we think that it's another human being's.
She didn't want to do that, and that's where it all started. Where I made a video about her doing this. We already seen it, but she thought she was better than everybody. She thought she was better than the bus driver. She probably thought she was better than the man that's great in value. That's why she losing. She has been consumed and walking in the path of the garden of insanity. That's why she losing. Let's ride out.
Responsibility to give
And I
us
ain't
what
stopping
we
this
need
no more.
instead of us building
Because
together.
I already told
Ebony
you how I
K.
feel.
Williams got some random sperm donor from the donation bank, and now she's pregnant. Unbelievable. The same woman who was supposedly so high class and couldn't date a bus driver picked out some random DNA from a possible homeless man or a possible let me powder my nose baser. Because I'm sorry, any man standing in line to donate DNA for $100, $200 gotta be living a real tough, low broke life. Either that or he's a mental nutcase. Chances are
God
he's both.
dang!
Most of them need the money, just like people going to donate plasma. Everybody knows when you go up there to donate the plasma, you gotta give them your last $20 bill, your last tank of gas, your last piece of bread, your last piece of air, water, electricity, whatever. Rich people don't show up to no plasma bank or no sperm bank on a normal Monday, clocking in like it's a job donating for cash. So yeah, no different from
Crazy
what Ebony
word.
went to. Same process. And what's even more
And
silly
one
about
more thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of guys that do this, man. Probably got more than 30 kids. So you probably gonna meet somebody, you know, that could be your cousin or brother or sister because of men doing this type of stuff, going to sperm banks and whatnot, spraying their seed everywhere, like that. It's crazy word.
This is this woman gloating about the whole experience with People magazine.
It's a hustle,
like she's
too.
conquering the world. It's embarrassing enough to go through this situation, but it's outright humiliating to do this to yourself and put yourself on the jumbotron to have all of us in your business on purpose for clout. It's very
Crazy
sad but
word.
true. These
That's all I have
flamingos
to
will do
say
anything
about all
for
this.
clout, even get a baby from the DNA of a junkie. We have to really get into this today, but first, take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification
Like
bell
she
for
really
all
did
updates.
this.
Young
She
ladies,
said
listen
she was
up.
gonna do
This
this.
one is for you. I'm
She
here
really
to let
did
you
it.
know this is not normal, no matter how much society is trying to push this weird narrative 1000% out of order. Okay, so Eboni K. Williams is trying to find a way to get everybody to talk about her and get some attention. She's broadcasting
Well,
all of her
she's doing
dumb
a good
personal
job.
decisions for people to comment on and try to wiggle her way back to the Breakfast Club. Ever since the bus driver thing, she's been itching to go viral again. This sick, egotistical witch decided she was going to craft up a baby on her own and voluntarily become a single mother because she believes she can raise a child alone
Voluntarily.
and she's got the money to do it. It's funny, we're talking about the same group that supposedly educated the public, preaching that money wasn't enough for a child. Every time a father said he provided for his child monetarily, they would argue that he could still be a deadbeat and label those men as such. Many argue that it's true that money isn't enough to raise a child. The child has to have the guidance of not just a mother, but they need the leadership of a father as well. You know, balance. Something once prevalent in society before the strong, black, and independent "I don't need a man to raise no child" serial baby mamas of 1986 popped up.
My
I'm
ideal
talking
family
about
right
before
there.
it became a norm,
Not this.
especially in the black community, for children to be raised in a single-parent household led by women. Now, single mothers end up in that situation for many different reasons. But never have I ever seen so many women choosing that life for themselves and resorting to pick up strange mystery DNA. I'm sorry, this is a new level of pathetic, and I don't care how much they try to make this normal, this is weird. And very selfish too. Just because you want to be a parent doesn't mean you should be. Doesn't mean you're qualified to be. All women should not reproduce. And on the other end, all men should not reproduce. It's a lot of y'all running around, men and women, trying to make another you. You're doing the world a disservice. The planet is struggling enough with you. We don't need you times two. We need some more failure, more confusion, more foolishness. One thing I can say about Vivica Fox, she knew she wasn't a woman for a real relationship, for real structure. She knew that already. At least she wasn't this selfish like Eboni to go out and create a whole human being and drag them along with her. I give Vivica that, because what Eboni is doing is worse. It's absolutely
You might be speaking too soon, Pink Book Lessons. Give it time.
crazy.
Vivica probably gonna get pregnant
Being
at
a parent
60.
isn't about you. It's about who, ladies and gents? That's right. It's about the children. Once you bring a
Right.
child into this world, and until you fully raise
The
them and go into
ideal
world alone,
family.
your life is not your own. It's no longer about you and what you want. There are certain decisions and things you have
about
to
your
do for
child
that
now.
child that you're now responsible for. And just because Eboni was too combative to get along with a man, she couldn't attract or keep a man of high quality, the men she wanted didn't want her. This is how you end up in this situation. Let's face it, all the white men said they didn't want anything to do with her anymore, so she decided she didn't need a man at all. Well, this will be fine if she just stayed
Crazy
alone
work.
and left everybody out of it. She's not only involving a child now, but she's broadcasting this to everybody. And just because she didn't need a man doesn't mean that child doesn't need one. The way she's parading this crazy story around with People magazine, talking about an exclusive, showing she's having a baby from some mystery mayonnaise, this is just a whole new level of mentally deranged. Then attempting to push this narrative to other black women to get on board and do the same thing is just outright
And I bet you it
despicable.
wasn't a brother.
Literally doing the devil's work. Well, Eboni K. Williams, she's having a girl, again reproducing another her. Just think of the strong masculine woman Ebony's mother raised. Now Eboni is trying to continue the tradition. Absolutely crazy. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Eboni, she's been pushing black this and black that for a couple of years now. How many of you want to bet her mystery DNA didn't come from a black man?
Sure did.
Tell me what you think about this below. Special
Yeah.
thank you to Starlet, I appreciate
Shout
you,
out
Star.
to Pink Book Lessons, man. But yeah, all I can say is it's crazy work. I'm very disappointed in her. She really went out there and did that joint. Man, the black community, I tell you. But yeah, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. You know what I'm saying? Tell me what y'all think about this situation. You know what I'm saying, in the comments. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.